Hey everybody, in the news update for Monday, August the 27th, 2018, a noon edition. I wanted to recap what we discussed on Facebook about healthcare reform and how government has no place in it. And why is the government in it? I have no idea. It eludes me, I had also another person that watches their channel. She's a fan. And she also asked the question, how come people don't give to you? You talk about awesome content that's real important and engaging and informative to the audience. Why aren't more people taking care of you as a minister? Because what you say is exactly what a lot of church ministers say in a real church, just like you're a real church online. Why aren't people giving to your cause? Why are they not bringing more people to subscribe to your channel? I mean, you don't have to watch all the videos. You just watch the ones you like. And you just direct people to that video, and they can watch just that video. They don't have to watch all the channel, all the videos, because there's a lot of stuff on here that we talk about, like things that happened at the other place where I live that's still going on and developing over there now that I'm gone, but things are still happening evil over there that need to be exposed, the corruption and the drug dealing going on over there. And it's just, and then other things we talk about, but it's really informative information. It's not rumor or something I made up or, that I'm trying to cause trouble for people. No, I'm trying to get rid of the corruption over there and trying to clean it out. Because I was forced out of my place unlawfully, and I don't feel that way. I really was, because the real people that are honest about it know they did wrong, and they still are stressed by it. That's why they're staying up and drinking coffee and all uneasy, because they know what they did together corporately what they did to get me out of there was wrong, just like I know it. I mean, it don't take a brain to figure that out. I mean, I saved Miriam's life, literally, from being killed from her druggy husband. Then she goes talking to Barber, who got a fake protective order against me because they both all band together and lied about it. And she's over on the other side, but she waited 17 days to do that, which that should enrage you, because that tells you that there's nothing truthful about that. It's just like, Sean's over there. Oh my goodness, she just told on herself, saying she's, saying that she heard from the neighbors that I'm terrorizing the neighbors over there because she's over there talking to Barbara and talking to Patricia and talking with Miriam, and yet she said she wasn't talking to him, but she told on herself. So I mean, there's two-face there going on there. I mean, you got to watch out for these cats, because they're everywhere. It's not just one person, but it's everywhere. You got people like this that are two-faced everywhere. You got to be careful of these fake people, who are dangerous, who are, just luring and just parasite, kind of parasitic. When they act like that, they use you for things and use you for resources, but then they get tired of you because you wise up, because you start charging, they don't like it, then they just want to throw you out of their family and then make up stories on you. So, but that's what we're dealing with here. But like I said, that's what everybody has, stories like that to tell on people where they've done that to them. And, you get erased out of people's lives for things they did, not what you did. And then they don't have the gall or the balls to tell you they were sorry. Because this person never said she was sorry to me after all the stuff she did to me, taking business from me and then lying and listening to all those people over there. She never said anything. And then, of course, I knew when she said she loved me, and when they were over there moving, the boys and all were genuine, the kids were, but, the mother, she was fake as a queer $2 bill. I mean, I could see it was just all fake. I mean, she looked like she was happy and really wanted to do it, but really, she wanted to do it to get me out of Virginia. And that's why she did it. That's why she allowed that to happen, because she wanted me out of there. I mean, you don't see them calling me up or coming over or coming down here to visit, do you? Nope, they haven't and they won't. Now the kids, they might do it, but they may come over when they get growing up. But, as far as the mother's concerned, Charlie might come down. But as far as Sean's concerned, she's not going to come down. That was the whole idea of the objective, to get my mother and manipulating her to get me to move down here. And I'm glad I'm down here, because I don't have to deal with all this crazy uneasiness anymore. It's a blessing to get away from all the liars and all the rumor spreaders and all the gossipers over there where I used to live in. And Sean's over there buying in and eating it all up like it's candy. And then, of course, they got her going and saying things and getting things going with the landlord over there. And And that's how all that stuff populated, how it took on its form of aggression and how it possessed itself, and that's how it manifested. So, that's you get to see the real true colors of how people really are. And whether you accept it or not, some people are just like that because they like to take advantage of other people and take advantage of other people. That's why they welcome you as a family member right off the bat to pull it and tug at your heartstrings so you'll feel sorry for them, so you'll do things for them for nothing. That's generally what people do when, because they don't have the ability they don't want to pay you anything, so they allow you to do it for free all the time. And, that's kind of what happened, like Charlie said, well, we should have paid him. I mean, he's right. Because you pay everybody else. I mean, but nothing, I can assure you nothing happened at all that was wrong. But it was just blown out of proportion. Way out of proportion. Like, Sean likes to jump the gun on a lot of things. I mean, she's got a wild, overactive imagination that's talking about things in the dark and hearing voices of things that are happening and aren't happening. But yet she thought all the worst, and that's why all the things propagated the way they did. And I have nothing against her. I still pray for her that she gets her meds straight and that she gets her help with the therapist and gets goes there and gets the help and gets retreated and gets her medicine, gets the psychological, neurological order worked up on her, a battery of tests, and helps her to get the treatment that she needs, so that she can be balanced mentally and stably. And as far as doing the ministry work, I think she needs to leave that alone and, get her priorities straight with God and with her family first and try to, repair the damage she's caused with her kids by the way she's been acting. And I think that's what she should work on first, if you ask me. Anybody that has a problem with this, I think you should work on yourself first before you try to help other people. Or, in her case, try to fix other people, because you got a lot of fixing to do in your own life. I think you ought to leave the fixing to God, like I've always stated and always will continue to say till I draw my last breath. Because God only truly does the fixing in this life. And I think, Sean, you should do the same thing. Let God do the fixing. You just worry about fixing your family and fixing yourself and get your priorities straight. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't give to our ministry here, because their priorities aren't straight. What does it cost to lose a meal to go out to eat a week? $10, $12, $15, $20? You can give that to us. There you go. But you have an excuse. Oh, I have to go eat. I have to get fattened up. I have to get lycosapine, Forzinamay. I have to keep drinking my fluoride. I got to keep doing all these things so I get fat and overweight and then get all these heart diseases and diabetes because of eating all this stuff when I go out to eat at unhealthy restaurants. Because I just like to do it, so it gives me an excuse to get bigger. When yet you can help someone out and use that money to do good with it. Because that's what it's doing to a lot of you. And I'm not being mean, but that's what it's doing. I'm not being mean at all. I'm just telling you the truth like a doctor. You eat that stuff, it's going to make you fat up like a big old rooster. And a lot of y'all are overweight because you eat out a lot. And you could save some of those meals and eat a wholesome meal at home. It's a lot more healthier for you. And better for you because you can cook it yourself. You got to work a little bit in the kitchen. You got to sweat a little bit. You got to mess up stuff. You got to mess up the kitchen a little bit. So what? But at least you get a good meal. It's way better than what you would eat out. Yeah, it's fun to be pampered and fun to be waited on. It is fun to have that. We all like that. Even men like that, even though we won't admit it. But we all like to be pampered. We all like to go out and take a vacation from the kitchen. And that's perfectly okay sometimes. But most people eat way too much. Most people drink too much soda. Most people, eat too many sweets. Most people pop too many pills. Most people, drink too much alcohol. Our priorities are not in the right spot. When I say that, because they really are not. It's not because I'm trying to be mean or, oh, he's just talking bad again, oh, no. I'm just saying the truth because I want you to be on the right side of things when it's all said and done. I want you to be in heaven. I don't want you to be in hell because you got this controlling way about you, or you like to enslave people or think you oppress people by your God-like inferiority complex when really you're not God. Only God is God, the true God. Not an idol God is what you will become if you act that way. with your controlling and your ivory tower mentality, singing your songs and maybe doing some things, passing out some tracts to justify your behavior of all the other things that you do that are not good or appropriate for the ministry or even to be cut out to be in the ministry. But there's other people that are out here, a lot of people that are doing things like that. And they try to put a face over what their sin is and what their hang-ups are. And they try to make excuses for them rather than confronting them and dealing with them and overcoming them, like the Bible tells us to do in Revelation. To be victorious. If you wonder why a lot of friends are going in and out of your life, it's because of what you're doing and what you're saying and what you've done to people that hurt people. That's why they're going in and out of your life, and why your friends are like a revolving door. It's not normal for people to go through many friends like some people are going through, because there's a mental problem with that person. That's why they keep going in and out of your life like a doorway. That you always people like always have this right mentality about them, or like they never do anything wrong, and it's always everybody else mentality. I mean, Barbara across the hallway, the one that lived next to me, before she moved over there on the other side, she was just like that. And if you were talking to her, you're like that too. People tend to hang around with people that are like that and associate with people like that. And then they go around saying you're delusional, but then your car and your kids are over there. And your kids are riding with questionable people over there. You befriended Danny and had your kids be exposed to a real predator. That's who the real predator was Danny. Being exposed to your daughter and your kids and all, and he was picking her up, real late at night in the car and taking her real early in the morning. I saw her getting in the car many times. So, and being picked up, that's why you had to put a restraining order on him. Stay away from all your kids. You didn't have to do that to me. No, because I'm not that kind of person, even though I was labeled that. See? But the thing is, that's what you did. Okay, and you won't face that, because people like that are controlling, don't want to face what they do, because they think they're always right and they're justified. That's why they behave the way they do. And all people that are like this have that kind of flaw in their makeup, because they don't want to see what they're doing. They rather point out and try to pick and nitpick on everybody else, but they don't want to ever look at what they're doing, because it's always so easy to point out the flaws in everybody else. Because that's all they do. They're the flaw expert. But then, it's like what Jesus said. I like what he says. You need to look at the big log that's in your eye before you look at the speck in everyone else's. And it's really true, because you've got a lot of things wrong in your life if you're like this that you need to look at and examine and take your inventory on, instead of trying to propagate other people's lives and try to put yourself up on a pedestal, when yet you're living a fake life that's phony and it's not even godly at all, because you want to be a judge and persecutor. And people that are like this, ought to be ashamed of themselves, because they're trying to play like they're really God, and they're not God. There's only one God that does that, and that's the Lord Jesus Christ. There's no other God that does that. And if you are a God, God don't have other gods before him. So if you act like that in your personality, you need to stop doing that. Stop being controlling. Stop trying to put things on your kids or make your kids be something like a trophy. Stop trying to expect your kids to do things that you didn't do, or that you want them to act a certain way. Just let them grow and blossom to what God wants them to be, like normal parents do when they raise kids. It's not about what you want them to become to be. It's what they want to be by what their will is and what they want to do. That's how you raise a child. You teach them about boundaries that are appropriate, and you teach them about and you reward them for good things. But you don't try to force your ways or your thoughts or what you want them to be on them, because that's taking the freedom away for them to develop into what they're supposed to really develop into. A man or woman of God, to do the things that they really, truly, really want to do and flourish past that. And you're taking that away from them by robbing that, by putting your control on them and smothering them. And if you're like this, you need to stop, because it's not helping you to have a close relationship or bond with your kids. All it's doing is pushing you away, like you push everybody else away. Because you're like that with your kids, you're like that with everybody else. They don't conform to your standard, or they have a difference in belief. You're disfellowshipped. If you have a different opinion on something and you don't like it, they're disfellowshipped. if I'm nitpicking, finding all kinds of flaws, and trying to come up and talk to all the neighbors and all, around where the person lives, they just fellowship because I'm listening to what they're saying because I believe what they said. And really they were terrorizing me. I wasn't terrorizing any of them. I never even said a word to them. I guess I was terrorizing them because I lived there, but I don't know how I was terrorizing them because I never said a word to them. So you got to stop listening to what you believe in, Sean. Because you're the one told on yourself because you're still talking to those people, those losers, those rumor spreaders, those liars, and I guess you're one yourself because you just told on yourself when you said you heard from the neighbors I was terrorizing them. When you know that's not true, truthfully, you should know that. Yeah, but apparently, you don't because you don't see what's really going on. You only see what you want to see through the glass of your eye vision, what you're seeing. You're not seeing the truth. You're only seeing it one way. And you need to start seeing it through reality. What was happening there? All the rumors, all the stuff was lies. All the stuff she said to you was lies. Even the kids said that. All of them feel that way. They don't like what you did. They don't like what Barbara did. They don't like what she said. They don't like what you said because none of it was true. None of it. And they did say you are mentally ill. And you do have mental problems. And they do believe that you really do need more help. Because you do overreact and overbear and smother and you take control and you don't listen to them. You just try to tell them what to say rather than listening to what they're really saying. That's the problem. That's the problem with all controlling people do. And I try to help you. And that's really what I'm trying to do. Because anybody that's like this needs help. And there's a lot of controlling people out here. It's not just her. It's not one person. It's a lot of you. That's why a lot of things happen in the world the way they do and why you miss out on a lot of things. Because what do a lot of controlling people do? One of the other monumental flaws is that their mouth's always running. And they don't listen. Because their mouth is always running so they don't hear nothing. That's how the lady was across the hallway from me. And that's how the four kids' mother, who I helped raise and was in their family, and how she was. She never listened. She just came up with her own ideas and her own assertions and just put you in a category, and just said you were that way regardless of what the truth is. And just kind of just put it like that because she just wanted to just suffocate what everybody was saying and just believe what they were saying and went over to their side when yet she didn't really know the people. But she still believed it like a lot of controlling people do that. They take the certain opinions of others because they accept them over you, and yet they should value what you say more so because you knew them a lot longer. And you were with them a lot longer, so your opinion should trump theirs, but not in a mentally ill person. They tend to go with people that seem to have the same idea or act the same way because they're codependent. And that's pretty much what happened here with all these cats, and this person in question. But, that's what they did to me over there. It's why I had to leave. It was unjust. It was unlawful. And it was just, it was a hate crime. I mean, I could go after these people for a hate crime because of what they did to me because of my religion. I mean, they really were like that. Every way. And then they sit there and turn it around and said I was doing stuff to them. Shoot, yeah, I was doing stuff to them, all right. That's why they were always outside my door, right? That's why they were always turning things around and putting their spin on everything, right? That's why she was saying stuff about me that wasn't even true. About a lot of things. But yet you still believed it, see? So, I mean, it says a lot about you, You need to really look at that and really get that help you need, get the therapy you need. Get that medicine changed, because I think you need a neurological evaluation. I think you need a mental evaluation. I think you need a whole works. The PNC, I think, is where you need to go, the PNC Center, and have all that done, the whole three, and get the right medicine and get on the right stuff. Yeah, it costs a lot of money, but I think it'd be well worth the money. That might cost up to over $100,000, but it may be well worth it because you'll be on the right meds and you'll be feeling better and you'll be balanced, And right now you're not, so that's why you're having this pattern of, having this pattern where people are coming and going out of your life, and you always seem to have the complex that it's always their fault, when yet you're not realizing that most of it is what you're doing that's your fault because you don't want to see it that way. But there's a lot of people that are like that, and they don't see it that way because they're too prideful and they're selfish, and all they're thinking about is themselves. And we got to stop thinking about ourselves. When we're Christians, we've got to think about each other and start helping each other. start building people up, not be thinking about herself. That's why a lot of people don't give to this channel, because they're not thinking about me. They're not thinking about supporting me. They're thinking about themselves. But like I said, may I digress, I hope that changes. I hope people will help this channel. And I hope that people will have a new change of heart and stop hanging around and associating with people that have been lying to them over the years and still are lying to them. But anyway, just have a nice day. And, I don't care if you subscribe or don't. I don't really care, but I hope you do. And I hope you do share this content. And I hope you do give to this podcast. Because we're supposed to take care of the minister, and that's what I am, a minister. I do inform you of things, of all kinds of things. But I do think, that people need to do their part more. This is Michael DeSilvis in the news update, spiritual, and also other news of a psychological nature of what's been going on and what has happened and what has taken the toll on certain individuals because of these things that have happened, because they just weren't true and they were just totally wrong, because they should not have happened in the first place. Take care. This is Michael DeSilvis. I love you. Be safe, everyone.